Hit him in the back like him, there is no other. My people, don't you want to live? Don't you want to live? Let's stop killing ourselves. To keep up this killing, there'll be none of us left. Share more love and take the drugs off the shelf. My people, don't you want to live? Don't you want to live? Oh, we are original kings and queens. Living is given, if you know what I mean. Don't let death come by surprise. Our babies don't want to die. Can't you see Jah wants us to live? Oh, let's stop killing one another. Don't talk to her like that. She's somebody's mother. Don't hit him in his back. He's your brother. My people, don't you wanna live?
Don't you wanna live? Yeah. What's up? We got Lala in the building this morning, yo. Hey, Jackie, remember, peace and love. Queen Lala checking in. What's up? What's up? Anetta Rogers, my PMS Solutions. Hey, partner. What's going on? It's Funky Friday. This is Darius Say Stand with DJ 5 Star. Yeah.
5 Star.
We rocking and rolling this morning.
Oh, we are original kings
We got
and
the Queen
queens.
ISU band, the 1 and 2s in the background. You hear?
Know what I mean?
Don't you want to
Don't
live?
let death come by surprise.
You are what you
Our
eat.
babies
You are what you
don't
digest.
wanna die.
That's what we're dealing with today on the Peace in the Morning show with DJ 5 Star. Come on, listen to it.
Let's stop killing one another.
Stop killing one another.
Don't talk to her like that. She's somebody's
Let's stop
mother.
beating on one another.
Don't hit him in
You know,
his
brothers
back.
out here that's beating on women,
He's
talk
your
to them.
brother, my people,
Give some
don't
help.
you wanna
Break that
live?
cycle so those children will stop seeing that abuse and fall into it.
You wanna live?
Come on, y'all.
Got to get ready.
Yeah.
Clean up ourselves.
Don't you wanna live?
Yeah,
Don't you wanna live?
Let's stop the killing.
How?
Let's stop the killing. Let's stop the raping.
Stop the
Let's
raping.
stop the stealing. Let's stop this
All those children in France and all over the world.
family. Don't you wanna live?
Stop it. Put an end to all wickedness. That's right. Come on, share this show. Put it out there to make sure people understand how to stay themselves from inflicting unnecessary diseases into the body. You can prevent these diseases from even coming into the body. So we're going to talk to you about how to eat, how to live, how to love, right here on the Peace in the Morning show. It's Darius Say Stanton. It's Funky Friday, baby. When we come right back, we're going to jump right in with Dr. Midwife T. We got something special because she got something special coming up right here on the Peace in the Morning show. It's Funky Friday, baby. You know it. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's Funky Friday. Welcome back. That was the Lifestyle Magazine. Please check out The Lifestyle, Lyfe Style Magazine, The Lifestyle Magazine. Hey, Five, what's up, brother?
What's happening?
You got it, partner. Hey, man, first of all, we got a lot going on. We just came from last weekend broadcasting live Winston-Salem,
Winston.
North Carolina. We've been in them Carolinas pretty thick this summer, huh, man?
I know, right?
That's
whole
right. We went from
quarter.
Atlantic Beach, jumped down to Douglasville, Georgia, then came back up to none other than Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for the NACA conference, which was the National Association for College Activities. And we went down there representing Five Star Enterprises.
Five star.
So, hey, if you're looking for lecturers, if you're looking for math through music to teach your children STEM through music, and a powerful program that's been approved by the Canadian government as well as Stanford University through their evaluations and research. All the data is there, all the funk is there, all the fun is there. And guess what? DJ Five Star and his entire crew is ready to provide that for you and your school system, your community center. Perfect timing right now when children are tied to technology to be able to learn how to do that through math, through music. So look, we got performers the whole 9 yards. And we went down to Carolina to present to over 300 colleges about what we do. So we look forward to being at a college really close to you, presenting retooling leadership, education's a new sport, math through music, master through media masters, you name it, we got it. And you're going to see it right here on the Peace in the Morning show each and every Friday. But look, we're going to get into it. So, you know, if you heard the song this morning, it was Don't You Want to Live by Queen Iyasita Baby, my mom. And right now, the amount of abuse that's taking place in our communities, that children are a part of, children are witnessing, which then turns into violence into our homes. And, you know, we don't understand that. But if you follow television and you see the negativity that continues to be perpetuated, the root cause of the violence that we see, people keep asking. I hear these panels and they keep going around the room talking about what we need to do, but we're not going to the root. And the root is inside of the home. The root is in the family. And so we're really focused right now and on making sure that we bring mental health into our homes, into our communities. But this morning, we have back our special guest, and really excited, from the West Coast. Now she's on the East Coast, but she stays above all coasts because she hovers in the air. And she got a special time right now. That's right, because it's also her solar return. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Queen Five. We got a solar return queen in the house.
Yeah. Here's another one. Another one.
They get your music. They get your music. They get your music. They get your music.
It must be Angie on the mic. The butter pea, honey, got the sugar, got
Hey.
go to L site. Keep the rhymes right, yo. I just made this motherfucker up last night, and I'm 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 night.
Dr. Midwife T, happy solar return, Queen.
Thank you. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much. Woo, 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 woo.
Come on.
If it's your birthday, make some noise. 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 If it's your birthday, make some noise.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Woo.
Woo. Yeah, that's right.
Y'all
That's how
so
we do it.
silly. He's so silly. I love my people. DJ Five, I love you. Thank you.
5-star.
Thank you. Yes. DJ
Love,
Five
love.
Star.
So how does it feel, Queen? Another solar return, all pumped up and ready
Yeah.
to go, living life to the
Pump,
fullest.
pumped it up. Yeah. Pump up. That's it. I feel great. I hope nobody holds fast to the numbers, but I turned 52 this year. And I used to be one of those women that wouldn't tell their age, which was quite silly
couldn't quite figure it out because of what we go through in the Black communities. And as a Black woman, I thought I should be real happy about it. So I decided I'd stay at 50 forever. That's a great age for me. A lot of really wonderful things happened when I started coming into the age of 50s. And I'm so happy. This is where I would want to be today, a couple days after my birthday. I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm so grateful to be on this show and to know you and to speak to our people and to hear back from them. I just love it. So
Hey, well, we're so glad that you chose to be with us. We are so grateful. Queen Arnetta Rogers, My BMF Solutions. Go check it out, mybmfsolutions.com. Our partner for your business back office solutions, for your benefits, your insurance, all those things you need. Go check out My BMF Solutions, especially if you're in the hair care industry. But it's for any small business, not just hair care. So if you want to get your books in order, your benefits, your insurance, your retirement plan, all of those things, legal support, My BMF Solutions. Also,
And
Queen
she got a
Priscilla.
whole team, and she supports and supports and supports. Netta, I got your review online. I appreciate that. I look at all those little reviews, and so thank you for those that
nice.
continue to support what we're doing with Matthew Music and in the community. Thank you.
Peace
No
and blessings,
problem.
Matthew Music. Yeah.
Right on. Also, and she put the website in the chat, so go check it out. mybmfsolutions.network is the chat. So boom, we're gonna get it right there for you. Also with us this morning is the Queen. She gonna light it up. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and get it together before we get into it. Long live the spirit of the Million Man March.
Long live the spirit of the Million Man March.
Long live the
Long
spirit
live
of
the
the Million
spirit
Man
of
March.
the Million Man March.
Long live the spirit of the Million Man March. And the Queen, Priscilla Lipscomb Monroe, will be doing a poem for us on that day. What day am I speaking of? October 16th. Next weekend, next Saturday, as a matter of fact, we will have the 26th anniversary of the Million Man March in Druid Hill Park, sunrise prayer. And after that, a host of other activities. We're bringing leaders from all over the state, young emerging leaders all over the state. We'll deal with our spirituality. We'll deal with our finance. We'll deal with our mental health. Yeah, and our fellowship and unity. So emergency preparedness, all of this all day next week, Saturday in Baltimore City at Druid Hill Park. We're starting off with a sunrise prayer. And so we're excited about that and hope to see you there. And our Queen, Priscilla Lipscomb Monroe, will be there doing some poetry. So thanks so much, Queen, for tuning in. Five, man, we got the Queen on this, we've been dealing with health and on the road, man. Five is such a great health partner because he's like, yo, what you doing with them carbs? Put that down. Yo, I know you're not eating that. Is that, and look, and that's normally me, right? So to have a partner that's pulling you up on your mashed potatoes.
That was too funny.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of health and dishes, the Queen, Dr. Midwife T, has been with us now.
About a month.
About a month. And so we're really excited because she's a doula. She brings natural childbirth to life, right? She also works to help people from a holistic perspective and part of a collective of queens that provide those services. And she's got some classes coming up that you're going to hear about for those who are interested or who are already in the field, seriously interested, and those already in the field. But without further ado, welcome back to talk about cancer, which is, I just saw something that says the American Cancer Society has been around since 1912, at least the early decades, and they still, so it's still out there. But what can we do? What is it? How do we get it? And happy solar return.
Bless. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. You know what? We need the numbers to go down regardless. We need the numbers to go down. So I think I'll start with looking at the fact that this show is an amazing contribution to our health. Um, we all talk about self-care, and that's where it has to start. And you have to know what you're dealing with. You know, when you look up cancer, you don't really get a clearly defined answer of what exactly cancer is. I think people are still struggling with how. How does it happen, and why did it happen to me? And those are the questions that come at first. I lost my sister in 2018 to cancer. She was in her 30s, and that was very difficult because she was so young. But I remember being very present and active in her health care. And the things I learned, one of the most important things was if I had had an opportunity to switch some things dietary wise, I would have done so. Because once you get a diagnosis of cancer, you have to change everything else. So why don't we just reverse that and see if we can reverse cancer? Why don't we switch it up and start doing the things that you could do to prevent cancer in the first place, trying anyway, and then turn back around and get the results of the health benefits? And that's where I want to go today with this whole thing. But you know, every time I come, I'm excited. So I get in the kitchen for therapy.
Fine. Let's see what we got to eat
ahead,
today on
brother.
the Piece of the Morning
Go
Show.
ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
What
All right,
grub's
look,
coming up
so,
for us?
you know, because it was my birthday, I don't do the cake thing, right? So I went into the kitchen and I took this gluten-free flour. Let me see if I can get it in the camera the right way. And I like apricots, right? So I took the bars and I made them into a shortbread, coconut oil, and then took some of the apricots and put them on top, glazed them with some of that brown sugar, and crushed some ginger and lemon sauce and poured it all over the top and put a dollop of white chocolate vegan cream. That's where we are with my fall dessert. This is my birthday cake.
She bringing something good every week. That was scrumptious.
Yeah, I'm feeling fall. I'm feeling fall. Trying to bake some bread and get some fresh rolls out. I gave some, rolls for my brothers. I donated some to some families and things with some crushed pumpkin seeds and all kinds of stuff on top. I want to do that and bless all the families out there because since we're talking about cancer today, we got some prevention work to do. We're going to get into that real deep. I want to make sure that when I start going into things that we look at to do better, I'm always going to throw this at you too, y'all. I'm always going to throw the water at you. Don't play. Don't play. You need it. You got to flush your system. So, you know, that's number. Yes. I'm not alone. And look, remember,
Look at that
put a
commercial right
little
there.
in there.
Water
Get
and 5-star.
the rock. Yes, for sure. You know, let's get it in so you can get it out. That's the mantra. Let's get it in so you can get it out. You want to get the toxins out and get your body right. So cancer feeds on those things. Cancer feeds on toxins. Cancer feeds on the things your body tries to kick out and can't kick out. And then we have our organs that get stressed. And, you know, there's different types of cancers. We've got cancer in the bone, cancers in our blood that comes from the bone.
Can we come back for a second?
Let's rewind. Go for it.
So let's talk about, you know, people hear about cancer often, like you said, on the back end. You know, somebody has cancer, somebody died of cancer, somebody's mad at cancer. But what we don't talk about are that you don't often hear is what you just went over. But I really want people to, first of all, share this, like this show, go onto our website, www.peaceofthemorningshow.tv, go to DJ 5-Star Enterprises. Also go to our YouTube page, and that's Peace of the Morning Show with Darius A. Stanton. But share this show because cancer is one of the things that's killing people right now also that have pre-existing conditions. Right. So we need to understand what puts the body in a state to start to form cancer. You know, what are the things that we consume? What are the things that we do that put us in a cancerous state and high risk for cancer? Okay, I just want to make sure we reiterate that and really, you know, give people a good understanding of that.
That's right. Habits, food, and environment. Those three things. Say it again to yourself. Habits, food, environment.
Environment. Got it.
You got to make some changes in there if you're not doing your ultimate best. when you think about cancer, because what we've learned is some of our habits. Let's talk about the habits. What are the habits that cause cancer? You know, you smoke. If you smoke cigarettes, you ain't heard of throat cancer. You ain't heard of lung cancer. So smoking is not the best thing for some of us, right? We already know that tobacco and cigarettes is a no-no. They're really, really bad for your body. But I'm not going to keep going on the smoking thing. It's also the habit of overeating. There are things that
What she
we're
said, habits.
What about fried foods? Is it bad to do fried foods? It's
Yes.
not so much about the fried foods as much as also the oils. What are you eating? There's no such thing as a canola nut tree. A lot of us didn't know that. We thought canola was a natural oil. Well, it's not. And so we need to get into olive oil. We need to get into almond oil. We need to get into coconut oil. Why? Because those are things the body can recognize is really good for you. Avocado oil has on the bottles when you read that you can actually heat that up pretty hot. If you're just going to go ahead and fry the onion rings and you're just going to do it anyway and put them in some oil, think about the consistency of how long you keep something in there. And then think about eating live food, food that's raw. Things like that can also help to cut down on cancer, because if cancer doesn't have anything to attach to eat on, it's not going to be there more than likely. Then we also want to take a look at, I said habit and foods and environment, so I'll just keep on going into that. But there are so many other antioxidant foods. We talked about antioxidants before, and I gave a list of different things. Some of them were basic, like a vitamin C. When it comes to cancer prevention, there's a few that I mentioned before as well, but I'm going to go over them because they seem to be some big hitters associated with healing cancer when it's been diagnosed. So why don't we try to put some of these in the body before a diagnosis? I had mentioned beta glucan, and I had also mentioned alpha lipoic acid. These are antioxidants and they are wonderful and they're really good for your nervous system. A lot of us have stress. Stress can cause cancer. So we have to start associating some of these things with what's going into our body and what we're eating. Another thing that's been seen with a lot of people who get that diagnosis for cancers is a lack of minerals. There's some minerals that are missing in our body and we need to get them. Start with only using sea salt. It can be something that simple. Did you know a pinch of sea salt and some regular spring water can alkalize your water almost up to an additional 30%? So just little teeny things. When I made that dessert and I mentioned brown sugar to you, that was mixing my own raw sugar and adding some molasses to it. Maybe you didn't know that's how they make brown sugar. They take white sugar and they put a little bit of the brown molasses in there, mix it up. And some of us aren't old school enough to know why they do that. Then there's also some of the other options when it comes to milk choices now. Dairy and the homogenization and the pasteurization of that milk doesn't allow our bodies to recognize those oils in there. And so even though back in the day we had raw milk, some people still do raw goat milk. Raw milk had a lot of probiotics in it and different things. However, we're trying to go more towards plant-based nowadays because what we're learning is that the animals aren't really up to par to be what they were supposed to be. There's microbiome issues associated with eating certain types of meat. I'm making a really hardcore campaign issue to encourage you to try something different, try something new. Once you get a diagnosis of cancer, guess what you have to do anyway? You got to change how you eat. You got to change how you think. So let's reverse it and get into it now. And we had one more thing. I said environment, but I'm going to pause because I want to hear what Brother Darius has to say. I see his face. You got something for me? Oh, I can't hear you. I'm going to keep going.
I was just saying I'm all caught up. You know, I heard you talk about the good oils that you can eat. You talked about the oils that are not good for you. And, you know, again, please, when you hear this information, go do your own research, right? Because we've already done ours. That's why that's why we're saying it. We've already done our research.
That's it.
So the first thing was habits. You talked about habits and making sure we have good habits. Stress causes cancer. Being in abusive situations that you continue to deal with causes you cancer.
That's right.
So, we really want to focus on the habits and putting in some good institutions, some good habits like walking every day, even if it's 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
Even if it's in the
Yes.
house, just walking, even if it's in the home, just, if
Yes.
you walk around the house 50 times, you
That's right.
move, you get your energy and you get it in. You don't have to go outside, you walk in place, but get your exercise and do something.
Brother Darius, what if they have some steps in the house? Get the
Wow.
stepping. Get the stepping. Let's get that cardio up.
That's right.
You
Get
know,
this.
we have a lot of other vascular and blood issues associated with not having enough oxygen in the body. You know, cancer doesn't like oxygen. Cancer does not like oxygen. Cancer doesn't like a lot of raw food. Cancer especially despises kale, collards, greens, onions, bell peppers. So then you get to a point where you get certain cancers, and I've heard advice being given to patients, well, you can't eat those things anymore. And I'm thinking in my head, I would eat a bowl of salsa in a heartbeat. Those chopped fresh tomatoes, raw onions, and a little bit of garlic. Get you some salsa, make it yourself. You know, there's also things that you can just do. Like I said, environment would be the next thing. Change the environment around you. If you know that you are in a house with chain smokers, make sure you go outside and get some fresh air. Save all of your money up to about $40 to $50 and get you an air cleanser. There's little teeny machines now that are portable. They could fit in my purse, in my backpack, that can clean your air within certain, 8 by 10 spaces or so. Or even bigger. So we have to do more research in just protecting ourselves. The ultimate choices are under self care, and you have to care for yourself. And like you said, we're doing the work. We're trying to say by our own example of how we're eating. We're not going to ask you to do something that we're not doing. So I'm going to put where my mouth is. I'm going to put my money there before I have a diagnosis of anything like that. I'm going to fight it. I want to be on the preventative end. I want to be proactive, ahead of the game. I want to get there first to the finish line, knowing I didn't have to battle with cancer. I have other battles to fight. Cancer is not one of them I want to take on, right?
So,
Yeah.
so that you spoke of the environment, and the first thing, these are the three things that Dr. Midwife T wanted to share with us that helps you to get rid of cancer if you find out. And the first is to change your habits.
Habit. Yes. And
Um,
I'm going to keep talking about some more things. I just keep going until you interrupt me. But I got a lot to say about this because, again, like I said, I had dealt with my sister, and my sister was one of these brilliant, amazing people. She was in Hollywood, California, and worked in the entertainment industry. Ironically enough, she could sing, but she was a model and had modeled internationally, and had went to UCLA to be a spokesperson for some children, and helped to raise money with programs there. Just gifting and gifting and gifting of her time. She's a very generous person. But in the midst of her stardom, it was halted at the age of 37, where she passed away with cancer. It began with a small diagnosis of something internal. We're not sure what it is. And then we went through all the tests, the blood tests, and then it's in this organ, and then we're isolating it in this organ. No, it's in your colon. Wait, it's in your ovaries. It's in your uterus, and then and it just kept going and going and going. Anyone that's dealt with that cycle, my heart goes out to you. Um, I really understand what that was like for me, and I can't imagine just sitting by if I knew some solutions that could probably help prevent cancer and keeping my mouth closed. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try my best to bring just into your home, what you can go look in your cabinets and find, even in the fall, talking about preventive things. I remember giving her some sea moss, and she hadn't had sea moss before. I remember giving her smoothies that had, her all vegetable smoothies. I threw some beets in there, and a half a yam, and had that mixed up, and then threw a little bit. Like I said, she loved honey. She didn't like molasses. That was a little bit too thick in the sweet department for her. But some real honey that was raw, and mixing some other things for her up in like raw salads. She loved Caesar salad, so we ditched the Parmesan, went heavier on the garlic, and threw in some other things with the olive oil and the sea salt and the ground up fresh ground black pepper. Absolutely phenomenal. Just little teeny things we can do to help get ourselves in the right direction. Same with eating spinach and greens. Um, I personally always advocate for raw things. I try to introduce more raw products into my diet. I always say I'm at 90%. Why? Because the 10% is anything. I may go to a birth and I have to eat whatever is there. I'm okay with that. But I will go to a grain before I'll go to eating something that's meat based. And I don't advocate for people to completely go into leaving meat and go straight into vegan without doing research. Your brother Darius said it so clear. You got to do your own research. At the end of the day, who's in charge of what you're putting in your mouth? Neither one of us are standing there telling you this is what you need to put in your mouth. You have to make the decision, because when you go to your doctor and you're trying to be faithful to get a colonoscopy, and then they tell you, oh, you have some polyps. Now we need to see if these things are benign or malignant. And you hear these big words, and what they're really saying to you is this cancerous or non-cancerous, right? Let's not go there. First of all, let's
Uh-oh. It froze. On my
go on
end.
and going on, because I'm excited about telling people how to
Darius, you muted.
prevent cancer without having to spend $1,000, right? Let's just start doing it with what we got in our homes. I haven't even touched the herbs yet. I'm going there next if you let me.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm still ready. I got more. No.
No, well, first condolences to the loss of your loved one, and to all of those who have experienced loss as a result of these diseases, and
Yeah.
understanding that you know we definitely have to, and we keep saying it, but changing those habits, and we keep reinforcing drinking more water, we keep
Right.
reinforcing exercise. Those two things alone help to remove toxins from the body. And we talked about obesity last week. Share a little bit about how obesity harbors and creates the environment for cancer,
Absolutely. A lot of times when they
please.
have a diagnosis of cancer, you will find out that there's some storage in the body where these toxins have accumulated. And sometimes the storage centers, when it comes to cancer, they'll call them things like I said, polyps. They'll call them things like tumors. And what we're learning is that some of these things can even be like cysts, little fatty sacs of either fluid, some type of fat cells. And that right there leads into why we have an issue with obesity and how that can easily turn into a cancer, because you've got your body holding on to something that it's not being able to detox because it's not being given what it needs to flush these things out. Water is just key. So I'm going to move past that because that's an essential. But there's also the fact that when the body holds a lot of like fat, some of us can tend to say we have a lot. Have we ever heard the saying, I'm a big bone person. My bones are big naturally. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But what I know about the skeletal body is it's only going to hold on to what it's attached to. First, there's muscle. And then anything on top of that underneath the skin has to be something healthy, because toxins love fat. They love fat. They like to hold on to fat cells. We laugh in our culture about somebody being thick. Thick is wonderful if thick is healthy, healthy muscle, oxidized muscle that's getting plenty of really clean red blood cells. That's not an issue as much as when somebody is diagnosed with obesity. That means you've over exceeded what they call your BMI. Your body mass index is struggling and screaming, I need some help. And again, some of us may have a little extra weight because of our muscle mass, but let's differentiate that from being obese. When you are obese, your body is holding on to things that are not healthy for you, and it's starting to show. And medically, you're going to start having some flags in your health care. Those are the precursors to a cancerous body. It's directly related to what some call the gut. Some people call it digestion. Some people say the gut. Some people don't like the word gut. Whatever it is, that digestion has to be able to use itself maximally. As soon as something hits your mouth, saliva is an enzyme. It breaks it down, and then you start the process of further having this food broke down and disseminated into the body where it's supposed to go. Our brain is amazing. These things happen on a sensory level before we even get food in our mouth. A lot of people talk about cravings and things. Man, I just had to eat, whether it's some sweet potato fries. I know people who eat a lot of vegetarian dishes and meals and things, and they do quite well. My own sister that I told you about, she was not a big meat eater at all. In fact, she ate a lot of vegetables. But what I'm learning and what I'm seeing is that sometimes what's already stored into the body hasn't ever been purged. And if we're not purging that, what you're doing is just layering stack on top of stack, more toxins. There's never really this one type of breakdown, and it may take a long time. If it took you 20 years to put on an extra 50 to 150 pounds, it may take you a couple years to get some of that out and off as you just keep chipping away at it through your diet and adding the right things in. So I want to say this one more time. You have to do the self-study and the self-care, but you have supports. You have support like this radio show. You have support like just sending an email. There's my email address. Ask me some questions. Send something. I'll try my best to help. We can set up a consultation. It'd be great. But more than anything, somebody next to you that you love may be going through the same thing. And you want to be able to say, you know what, I know there's some things that we can do to make this better so that you don't have to go through this process of cancer. I have not even touched on the herbs yet, like I said before, and the radiation therapies. I don't want to go too much into the therapies. Why? Because each cancer situation is different, and every doctor is going to diagnose according to what their findings are, right? And they're going to prescribe a therapy for you. But at the end of the day, I don't know anyone that raises their hands when they're 5 years old and someone asks you what you want to be, and they say, I want to get radiation treatments and have cancer. No one enlists for those things. So we have to be ahead of the game. We got to step into it with our power and our knowledge. We got to revisit what our ancestors ate. We got to get back on track with what we see other people doing who are walking at the age of 50 and 60 and 70 years old. How did you do it? I know so many people that I see, and I know they're my elders, and they could be close to 80, but they look like they're 40 years old. My father died at 74 years old and did not have a gray hair in his head. Okay? My father also passed away of cancer. He was in Vietnam. This man was very intelligent, spoke 4 different languages. I met him at the end of his journey in a VA hospital, in hospital. And I remember he could not even talk. When I walked in the room, it took him 3 weeks to make his transition. When I walked into the room, he kept saying Donald Trump, and he kept repeating that. They were telling me that he had cancer. Couldn't really tell by looking at him that first week. But as time went on and the radiation treatments and all these other things, they get to the point where they're like, well, you know what? There's nothing else we can do. The assumption is that the radiation will work. It has worked for some people. But when it comes to Black life, sometimes we gotta get ahead of it a little different and be more aggressive in the healthcare department and take ownership of what's going in the mouth. We have to do it. I'm all for that. So I was going to go into the herbs.
So before you go into the herbs, let's talk about the ownership of what we put into our mouths and reading labels. And without, what are the things, some of the major foods, colors, the dyes, things that we eat every day that are part of the traditional American diet. D-I-E-T, diet. What are some of those things?
I love it when you say that, because if you don't perform in the department of your diet, you might find yourself dying yet. So I like how you put that up there. That was some good vernacular switching up, so we can see you don't want to die yet, so you want to have a good diet. So in that response, I know not to touch anything that's got color in it. And I look at the label on it and I can't tell what it is. Usually that culprit is some packaged foods. So what do you have to do to start eating better? Well, one thing is put some time into it. Put some time to grab a bottle, read the label, put some time into cutting something up and popping it into a bowl and making it, preparing it with your hands. When I go to my Ethiopian sisters and brothers restaurants, we eat with our hands. So that's another big thing, is make sure you wash your hands real well and start eating your food. Put your fingers on it so you know what you're doing, what you're feeling. Why? Because some of the food that we're eating has been now labeled with little terms that we didn't used to have, called NGMO, that's non-genetically modified organics. Those are good foods for you. If it says GMO, you're eating a genetically modified organic product. That means it is not necessarily a food grown in a organic setting that we're accustomed to, like grown in the ground with dirt. And even if it is, sometimes there's chemicals and things used to help produce and make this plant through means of whether it's being cloned or duplicated or the seeds have been changed. So one
And
of the,
just
oh,
just
go
so
ahead.
you know, excuse me,
Bless you.
as you get for live TV. Thank you so much. But also, you know, the FDA has approved that vegetables products can be put out without labeling them
That's
always
correct.
as GMO foods, and they've done the
That
same
is
thing
correct.
with salmon. They have a
Hmm.
genetically modified fish right now that's not a wild caught fish, but they're not forcing people to label it. So
Mm.
they're literally allowing you to eat foods that aren't. And so definitely the
Is it okay to talk about those types of fish? Is that can we? You said salmon, so I figure I could talk about trout or
sure salmon, tilapia, not wild caught, catfish, all farm raised.
anything on the. Okay, go ahead, because you went away for a little bit. I'm here. Say it again.
Yeah, no, we just farm raised. We're talking farm raised fish.
There
You
you
know,
go. Yes,
catfish, tilapia. You know, these are
swai,
genetically. What is the other one?
SWAI. That's the mystery fish. I call it the mystery
Oh
fish. No one's
yeah,
really clear what
sway
it
or
is.
something.
Yeah, so let's go on our intuitive knowledge. If you don't really know what it is, maybe you should leave it alone. And if you know how to read and you're fairly literate, if you look on the back of a bottle and you can't pronounce something that's got 15 syllables in it, maybe you should
Right, definitely. So read your
red and
labels.
green and I'm sorry.
I said read your
I was
labels for sure.
Yeah, read your labels. You mentioned that. And so red dye is one of the big ones too. I don't fool with red dye. I don't fool with any of the dyes if I can help it. If I want to turn something of specific color, somewhere between it being a savory and me throwing some turmeric in it, or somewhere between it being sweet and me throwing some beets in it or something, I find a way to color it and make it beautiful and festive. But the goal is, I think here too, I want to go with why does something have to look like what it's supposed to be? If it's supposed to be a meat, it has to look like a meat. Otherwise, you trick your body and you won't eat it. So this too leads into us talking about packaged, processed, plant-based items. So
Can
that's
I throw
something that I'm very
one thing
interested
of
in
one
talking
other
about.
element that causes cancer that's almost in almost every food
Go
drink?
ahead with it. Bring it.
High fructose corn syrup.
That's his thing, y'all. If you have not been on this show before and you haven't heard him talk about the high fructose, you're going to hear about it right now. Why you don't like it? Tell him why. It's not good for you.
It causes all of the pre-existing conditions that cause the thing that people are saying is killing us
Thank you.
in a rapid form.
That's right.
Obesity in 2019, 2018, 2017,
That's right.
1.7 million people each year
That's right.
died of a combination of obesity, diabetes, heart disease,
That's
and
right.
cancer.
Yep.
And high fructose corn syrup has been proven to cause all four of those things.
That's
So
right.
look at your label and you'll see either the third ingredient, fourth ingredient, fifth,
That's
high
right.
fructose corn syrup. So,
And we're talking like looking at tomato sauce, right? Spaghetti sauce, right? You look in there, you're going to find some sugar. Something about us needing sugar. And everybody should know at this point, and just in case you don't, sometimes our age might precede us since we've been trying to have this journey for a long time. But we know that sugar is on the drug list. Sugar is a drug and it's addictive. And we need to talk more about the fact that sugar, white, refined sugar, need to leave it alone, people. Leave it alone. Why? Because it is a drug. It's addictive. Things that taste sweet. For some reason, you can sprinkle something sweet on some green beans and it just, ooh, that just snaps. It makes it, it just tastes better. We have to work on finding alternative sugars, the ones that the body recognizes as really good sugars. Like I said before, My sister, she likes honey. I'm a molasses type person. I like blackstrap molasses. I also recognize, some people like stevia. Stevia has its own set of indicators depending on how you get it in a powder form or liquid form. There's monk fruit sugar. There's a whole bunch of other things out here now. But
Monk
again,
fruit sugar. I'm not familiar with that one.
yeah, it's usually next to bottles of agave. If you go into a health food store or a grocery store, and when you see your liquid agaves, there oftentimes you can find some monk fruit sugar. People are really into monk fruit for that. And then just plain old fruit, throw some apples in something, and an occasional blend of things that are already sweet. Like I said, beets are really good for you. I can't tell you enough how good beets are for you. A lot of people are afraid of detoxing. And one of the reasons I've heard that they won't switch over to eating healthier types of food, Brother D, is because it'll make them go to the bathroom. And I'm thinking in my head, but maybe that's what's needed. You mean to tell me you fear going to the toilet? Worse. Why? Well, I don't want it to happen while I'm at work. I understand that. But I also know that if the body is telling you, hey, look, what you gonna do? I'm gonna clench my cheeks. I ain't doing that. I'm gonna hold it. That's not healthy. Your mind right there. We need to work on this part. So we gotta choose the weekend, brothers and sisters, that you want to start changing over so you're home and you're comfortable. But make the change.
But how important are bowel movements to preventing cancer? Because if you're constipated, that means that the body is backed up. And if the body is backed up, that means it's storing toxic waste. And if there's storing toxic waste, that means it's piling on top of each other.
Yeah.
And even in some type of colonic or some other flush on the wall of the colon,
there you go.
Lays there because the stomach is only yet that big, right?
That's right. That's right. And
so
not
everything else then goes into the colon and sits there and becomes so.
And so there are three things I've done. And one is kinesiology. The second thing, massage therapy. And then palpation when I'm dealing with pregnant women. Some variation of touch therapy. And I can feel these clumps within the body. Sometimes even when you do a massage on a person, a massage therapist will tell you, they will start to release gas. They'll apologize. I apologize. Please excuse me. That's what you came to us for. Your body is speaking to us, telling us what you need. You finally are given the attention it needs. When you don't allow for this stuff to be broken down, a lot of times I'll tell people, go to the seeds. Get you some seeds. Because if you can get some flax seeds in there, and if you can start getting some other seedlings, what was I just thinking of this? Super, 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 super good. But anyway, some of these seeds will go into your digestive system, and flax is wonderful. That's one of them. People talk about getting the benefits from them. Whether you get the benefits or not, sometimes when you do that and you swallow these seeds, acai has little seeds in it. Berries, blackberries especially, have little seeds in them. Those seeds go and kind of chip away at this fecal matter that's been stored in your intestines over time. So there is a way to start breaking this stuff down. But remember, if it took you 50 years, 30 years, 20 years to start getting constipated and your body starts screaming at you, it might take a year or two to get that impaction out. But it has to be done dietarily. Because even if you go, like you said, and get a colonic, that might get 1/3 of the layer out. But if it's been sitting in there for a while, it's going to take some time. And it's going to have to soften up, and you're going to have to start eating things that don't bind it further. Like I said, fried foods. It's just not one of the best things to eat when you're obese. And that's the one thing you'll get a craving for,
Sister Priscilla Limscomb Monroe said, chia seeds, raspberry seeds.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of.
She was right there with you. She was right there with you. They stay right there grooving with you right there. They vibing with you. She says they vibing with you.
Thank you.
How many bowel movements? Kiwi is another one with the seeds. I love the fact that you talked about chipping away at the fecal matter.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
As on an average, how many bowel movements? When should you be concerned? If you don't have a bowel movement daily, we should, what's the number? Should you have at least a bowel movement every day? Some people say they don't have a bowel movement,
72 hours go by and they
2
still
days,
waiting on
3
the bell.
days, like twice or 3 times a week.
I
And
know.
if I don't go to the bathroom like twice or 3 times in the morning, I'm concerned.
Well, let me tell you what, I'm with you. At the minimum, and especially if you're not really health conscious, at the minimum, once a day, something has to come out. Advanced health eating, like people who try to really focus on what they're eating, it's usually after every meal. It's as common as after every meal. So that's the range, after every meal to a minimum of once a day. Because a lot of times what I've learned, we're talking about cancer, folks. You don't realize it, but your body, if it's in a constant state of clench, you don't realize you're holding stress. We're good at this thing where we just hold it. That's what you're doing to your stomach. And so consequently, let's say I'm sitting at my desk and I got something to do and I'm working and I'm working. You're diligent at working, but you don't understand that I got to use the bathroom. You got to take a bathroom break. If you don't take a bathroom break, I see people go and take a smoke break. If you want to take a smoke break, why you can't take a bathroom break? Go in there and sit down for about 10 minutes and just drink water. The first thing on my stomach is water every morning. I only talk about myself because I can't talk about other people. I don't want y'all to know. I tread light. I try to stay as humble as I can because I'm a healer and I want everybody to experience the best they can with their health. The body is phenomenal. The Creator has given us such an amazing machine, but if we keep using and abusing it, not listening to what it says, this is what leads to problems. So I just want to bring it back into, we're talking about cancer. And so if you don't have a bowel movement on a regular basis, you're going to have other problems in addition to that. Because see, we don't have a true definition of what cancer is. And I need everybody to clearly understand that. There are things that we call cancer, but as a person who's looked at medical records and watched over time in the last 20 years, we're still redefining what we will put under something where, broad definition, here we go, something where cancer is what we might call it, but the condition of it, when the body is no longer using the nutrition it's getting and causing you to have a collection of something that creates an autoimmune response. Your body is basically not responding to its healing properties. So it's fighting back. What's fighting back? It's just going into a place of, you know what, I can't get what I need. I got this stuff stored up over here. And if this stuff just keeps coming in through the mouth, it's never able to fully vacate the body. So we have to go beyond the cleanse to get to something that is being called cancer. But what exactly is cancer? What is it? You know? And people are getting it more and more and more. So what is it? You know, I just want to make sure that we are clear about how to define something that is a mystery. I also want to talk about, like I said, some herbs. I am a big herb eater. They also work much like seeds and nuts. There are certain herbs that literally help when you get them in bulk into your body, kind of like when you're doing oats and things and grains and, you know, couscous, if people still eat that.
Couscous.
Somebody bring it to me. It looks like couscous, but it's not. It's a bigger round pearl. Begins, you guys know, you know what I'm talking about. And they come in multicolor sometimes. Anyway, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody's going to type it in.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll stick it in the chat momentarily. Somebody, Priscilla Monroe, if we were giving away prizes today, she'd won a prize today.
Come on, Sister P. Sister Priscilla, hook us up. What's that one grain I'm thinking of that kind of looks like couscous, but it's a bigger round little circle? Anyway, we'll get to it. But in addition to the grains, I was going to talk about some of the herbs. Okay, it's wintertime right now, right? Let's keep the immune system strong. I mentioned before, get you some oregano. Get you some oregano oil. Get you something where you take a little bit of olive oil and throw yourself some oregano in there, throw yourself some parsley in there, chop up some cilantro. These are all dried herbs. They should be up in your cabinet. Get you some sage and put it in there if you want to. Take some black pepper, put that, grab that sea salt, do a little sprinkle. Now you can dip some of that whole grain bread or those crackers and stuff into that olive oil. Why? I see people who come from the city of, they say, Italy. They consume about a half a cup of olive oil a day. They don't seem to have the problems that we're having here. So I want to talk about the culture too. What's going on?
Here's an interesting thing about Italy. because they had a real challenge during COVID.
Ah,
One of the things that when forward code first came out, but one of the things that Italy does do a lot of is they eat a lot of pasta, which causes a lot
mm,
of mucus. While you're talking about herbs, talk about herbs that remove mucus from the body, um, if you would,
yeah, I
because
wanna.
mucus. Am I
Yeah,
right
I'm
about
gonna.
mucus causing?
Well, you know what? We're gonna take it from a couple of angles here because much like cholesterol, which the liver manufactures and creates in the body, we have mucus too, which is also created within the body. I don't think we're understanding that. I have to take a couple processes back, not to turn this into a class, but you know,
Go on, teach.
your five, yeah, your five senses solicit data from the environment around it, right? Does that sound easy enough? You know, you got five senses and it takes in information. You smell something, you know what that smells like. You see something, eye candy. You know, you want to see something, you see a pomegranate. That thing looks so good and juicy. But then there's other things that smell like a pomegranate. Does it taste like a pomegranate? So your five senses are constantly taking in data. Based on that data, that forms a gut response. See, I don't think people understand that it's from within you that you know what you need to eat. And I'm going to give you credit for eating the right things. Why? Because your body has this built in system to say, oh, I've seen this with my five senses. If I put it into here, it's supposed to do something. This is why I believe people get cravings in the first place. Sometimes lemons just sound and smell and look so good, just like somebody will say lemonade, and you're like, ooh, that makes me thirsty. I want some citrus. Maybe you're craving vitamin C. Maybe that's your body's way of telling you that's what you need to get. So, on that note of expounding and going into what he asked me, um, things that cause mucus, mucus serves a purpose, but then there is a process whereby the body will eliminate mucus. And a lot of times I will see that, and the expert on this, you know, one of the former teachers that I learned a lot from, never got to officially meet face to face, but learned and talked to and was just able to share knowledge for just a brief moment. Dr. Sebi, amazing, amazing, amazing contributions to getting rid of things like AIDS and cancer, especially within our community. Um, but one of the things about mucus causing things, like he said, you know, one time I had okra stew, and I ate this okra stew for 3 days straight. And I'm gonna tell you, I was like, could it possibly be all this mucilaginous? You know, I could feel things, and I thought, wow, that really threw me off. You know, milk thistles and dandelion family things, they're great detox herbs. Every once in a while, some of them can cause some people to have a response of building mucus. Um, the things I want you to stay away from the most are the refined white flour things, white sugar, terrible. Those are my W's: the white flour, the white rice, the white sugar. Stay away from those. You want to have mucus issues, gluten issues, that's where all that stuff comes from. Leave it alone. Why? It's processed to a point where the glycogen isn't recognized by the body, can't do anything good with it because of the source of where you're getting that from. So we tend to want to eat the brown rices. I will go into an international market, and my favorite of all favorites, if I'm going to eat something like that to try to minimize the mucus production, is Korean black rice. I think it's black rice anyway. I think it's African black rice, but I know a lot of times on the bag you'll have to go into the department, the section where it has a lot of Asian Oriental stuff, and usually on the bag it'll have some writing, and it's usually Korean black rice. But it's ironic to me that the darker the grains, and the darker of the greens, and the darker of the fruits, we tend to find ourselves doing real well. You think there's a coincidence to that, brother?
Well, talk about the white you just talked about, right? So now that we go switch from dark to
I'll talk
light.
about that some
The
more.
white, so the white, stay away from
It's
these things cause
processed.
sugar. They cause
Yeah,
mucus in the body, unwanted
that's right.
mucus, which turns to acid, which then
That's right.
becomes cancerous. And those are white flour, white
White
sugar,
flour,
white
white
rice.
sugar, white rice. And wait a minute, I'm not done yet. Why? Because, like I told you, the pasteurization and homogenation of this other white one that's just not good for us. and has always and never been good for our
You talking about the
children.
pus drink?
And now we even adding vitamin D to it, because back in the day, that's what they did. Why? You needed to add vitamin D to it because you were giving people basically what we call today chalk. Calcium carbonate is chalk. So when you get yourself a vitamin and you look on the label and you see some chalk, that's what they add to this product that is hella mucousy for us. What is that? Y'all know to stay away from milk. You shouldn't even have dairy right now. Leave that alone. There's nothing good there for you. I'm inclined to be a little lenient when yogurt is introduced because it's a microbiome issue in the gut that can be supported through certain cultured milks, kombucha, fermented things, yeasty things, nutritional yeast. Some of those things also help with mucus that's healthy. Because again, like I said, if you have mucus coming out of your nose, sometimes it's the body's ability to use vitamin C and other acidic necessary acids to cleanse and purge your body. And so it'll be mucousy to get those things out. But a storage of mucus is what we're talking about in the foods that feed that. We need to not eat those things. You just have to work them out of your life.
And as we get ready to wrap, we'll ask Five to get back on this high horse and ride us on out here for that birthday for you.
Okay, ride us on now.
Friday, although we dropping all this information about being able to stay focused on changing your habits, changing your environment, and it was one more that you coined at the backside: change your habits.
Oh, habits, foods, and environment.
Habits, foods, and environments. And so those three things are what you do if you find out that if you heard what we talked about. Obesity causes cancer. Okay.
Obesity.
So when you think about that, those things that we need to remove, think about change your habits, changing your foods, and changing your environment. But the whites, we talked about those things and the impact that those whites have. But
that's right.
Now building that mucus, and right now during the season where we're dealing with flu season, cold season, COVID season, but all of those things are severely more detrimental when you have a lot of mucus on the lung. So talk about what happens with the lungs and mucus and why you need to stay away from white chow, for white bread, white milk,
sugar.
Milk,
white sugar.
That's not.
Hey, look, brother.
Animal
This the last one of my W's. Leave them white potatoes alone too. Sorry, y'all. I know you love that. I'm sorry. Leave them alone. You need some yams. Get you some plantains.
Some yams.
Get you something else. What happens to our respiratory system? We need to just know that when it comes to respiration, especially with what's going on in the wintertime, you need to dry some of that mucus up. Get yourself some, like I said, stick with the oregano, rosemary. I can't talk enough about some eucalyptus tea. Comes in a tea form. I love my herbs. So I'm big on anything that has a lot of vitamin C. Hibiscus is amazing in the wintertime. I also like that we can do teas like Earl Grey and Lady Grey. Why? Because they got bergamot in them. And most people would never think of putting bergamot oil into something that they would eat. But if you drink a cup of Earl Grey tea, that's exactly what it is. And if you read about what bergamot does for you, it's over there with some of those oils and herbs that come with like cinnamons, allspice, all those fall herbs that you love to eat. All of those are good for clearing out mucus. Turmeric. I want to thank you all for having me.
Hey, the brother just popped too. As soon as you said turmeric, he just stopped it in the chat. That's Kenneth Clark. The good brother.
Yeah, because of his shirt. He's got on a turmeric colored shirt today. That's turmeric. He wearing the color. That's it. That's the fall color right there. Yeah.
Yeah, you see it. Turmeric is good. DJ 5 Star. Peace in the morning. Midwife tea. That's how we doing it on Funky Friday. You know what time it is. It's Funky Friday, baby. We got turmeric in the building. We got midwife tea. We got Darius A. Stanton, and none other than our good brother, DJ 5 Star.
5 star.
Hey, midwife tea, you did that. Come on, 5. What you think, brother?
Phenomenal. Like, you should see all the comments. I see Dr. E, Mr. Thorpe. Mr. Everett, everyone's saying great show, great information. Oh man, that's just amazing.
I'm so thankful that we took time out and you took time out during your birthday season to come by and bless us, Queen.
I live for this. I live for this. Thank you for having me.
No doubt.
So I'll see you again.
So much good information that you placed on us. And so, you know, we've dealt with thus far. This is a 4-part series, just so you know.
Yeah.
This is a 5-part series on health called Falling into Health here on the Peace in the Morning show. And we started off dealing with the immune system. From there, we went to obesity. We dealt with diabetes and heart disease. Then we went into last show.
Prostate.
The prostate, men's health and prostate. And, women's health with regard to fibroids. And this week, we're dealing with cancer.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to focus. It's going to be a special show dedicated to the Peace in the Morning show, involvement and engagement, which both DJ Five Star and myself are on the steering committee for the Projects Million More movement, which is celebrating the 26th anniversary of the Million Man March next Saturday. So next Friday, we'll be focused on that. So we'll be coming back, though, with our final part 5 series and bringing our Dr. Midwife T back to the Peace in the Morning show to focus on COVID. You know, we haven't, we've been like this, you know, we dealt with it, we dealt with it. But what we do is we provide you with information to prevent you from dying, you know, from putting the things in long term. We're focused on long-term health, right? We're focused on long-term health here on the Peace in the Morning show. And that's why the foods that we talk about, drinking the water, this is water in here. This old
Get your water. Get your water. Get your water.
On. And don't forget to get your Pure Light. Get your Pure Light, because Pure Light is a technology that we sell. Pure Light is in a light bulb form, also in a liquid that you can apply on walls in highly viral areas with high bacteria. And so we definitely want you to be able to get Pure Light. That's Pure-Light Technologies. So you can go to 5 Star Enterprises and learn about that. So yeah, definitely want to get people aware of how to prevent and how to build your immune system, which is the number one defense, is building your immune system. So that's coming up. Sure, come on with it. Come on, Queen. I see that one.
I had to tap my pineal. That. You know, activate.
Form of
Wonder Twins. Beautiful.
No doubt. So yeah, thanks so much everybody who joined us. Priscilla, thank you for being here. Great insight that you gave. Don't forget to check Priscilla out coming up next weekend. She's going to be also at the Projects Million More March, 26th anniversary of the Million Man March. So we're excited about that. We are getting all pumped up and ready to go. Thanks to the people who are out at Annapolis High School this morning, standing for our young people who have been shaken by violence, but the community is responding. About 20 people showed up last night at Annapolis, Maryland, Pip Moyer Center, with another about 15 people, including parents whose children were involved in some of the brawls. So we're on the front line and working to make sure that our communities stay healthy and stay free. And on that note, our good brother Turmeric Tillman.
He busted with the turmeric today. Hey.
You know, we feel
that. That's right. Give it to the brother.
Yeah. So I want to thank Five for my official. I want y'all to check me out. Let me blow my screen. I don't normally blow my screen up, but I want y'all to check me out with my official 5 Star Enterprises. You know what I'm saying? Come on, one near you. You better get one. You better get one, because we've been around the world now. Yeah. It's official, baby.
Yay.
So on that note, Midwife T, thank you so much for riding with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we're ready to crank it up. We're going to let Five roll it out. Yeah. is Funky Friday, baby. You know
This
what
is a
time it
record by Dead Prez called Be Healthy. I just felt like it just fit the mood, and just listen to him. Like, it's just, I play this at my vegan events and I get booked for.
I don't eat no meat, no dairy, no sweets. Only right vegetables, fresh fruit and whole wheat. I'm from the old school. My household smell like soul food, bruh. Curry falafel, barbecue tofu. No fish though, no candy bars, no cigarettes. Only ganja, fresh squeezed juice from oranges. Exercising daily to stay healthy. And I rarely drink water out the tap cause it's filthy.
Lentil soup is mental fruit and ginger root is good for the use. Fresh vegetable with them ital stew. Sweet yam fries with the green callaloo. Careful how you season and prepare your foods, cause you don't wanna lose vitamins and minerals, and that's the jewel. Life brings life, it's valuable, so I eat what come from the ground, it's natural. Let your food be your medicine, no accelerant, strictly herb generates from the sun, cause I got melanin and drink water, 8 glasses a day, cause that's what they say.
They say you are what you eat, so I strive to eat healthy. My
Yo,
goal in
that
life
joint is
not to
tight,
be
yo.
rich or
Nice.
True wealth comes from good health and wise ways. We got to start taking better care.
Hey,
is that?
cousin.
You are what you eat, so
Good to see you, Cheryl.
eat healthy. My goal in life is
Everett said we got to fall in love with
comes from good
health.
and
I
wise
believe
ways. We got to start.
Hey, who was that five playing that jam right there?
That's Dead Prez, record called Be Healthy. Dead Prez, record called Be Healthy. And I gotta leave out with Moms.
Let's stop killing one another. Don't talk to her like that she's somebody's mother. Don't hit him in his back like him. There is no other. My people, don't you want to live? Let's stop killing ourselves. We keep up this killing, there'll be none of us left. Share more love and take the drugs off the shelf. My people, don't you want to live? We are original kings and queens.
Yeah.
Living is giving, if you know what I mean.
He said living is giving.
Don't let death come by surprise. Our babies don't want to die. Can't you see God? He wants us to live. He wants us to live.
Check it out.
Let's stop killing one another.
More than 270, more than enough.
I don't talk to her like that. She's somebody's mother. Don't you hit him in his back like him. There is no other. My people, don't you want to live? My people all over the world. Every man, woman, little boy, and little
alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. Yo, I forgot that song was so tough, man.
More than 270, more than enough to become the 44th president of the United States. He will be the first African-American president of the United States.
I've been broke all my life, but I can hope all the nights. You see business in my city, yeah, they close.
Yo.
I was just riding down Salem on them damn potholes. I can't drive. I know y'all can fix it faster, but I know y'all won't try.
Yo, that
Nobody
was
care
Green
about
Island
us.
City, man. Don't you want to live? Let's stop killing one another. Man, that was powerful, boy.
Everybody got less food stamps. And when I turned 21, I was still broke. I'd never vote again. I don't think I ever had a president make my life better. Did it all on my own. Ain't no politician ever do a nice gesture. I don't even know the mayor's name. I ain't never seen her one time ever. Tell me how she gonna help the city. What I'm supposed to do, write letters? What I'm supposed to do, blame? He ain't never really gave a Ain't nobody raised minimum wage. None of these jobs pay enough. I think they just want to keep us broke, cause they ain't putting nothing in place for us. This how all my people
You gotta listen to him, y'all. Listen to him.
ain't enough. Let me change it up. Everything I just said, everybody I know think the same way. See, they don't want to see us vote, and we never do, so we see the same thing. But all our votes really do count, and they'll never really let it show. So now I'm finna break it down, cause if I don't, you would probably never know. First thing first, you know back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor, or the governor, and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws, they just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch, yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do, okay y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't ever even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted for Obama, we was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress. Cause they the ones make child support laws, they the ones choose if your kids at school get to eat steak or corn dogs. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years, and we just let them sit. See, they don't wanna tell you this, they want you to focus on the president. Now the third branch is the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon ain't had justice. So when Meek Mill got locked up just for popping willies, we blame the judge and not the city when they let her get voted in, cause they ain't know who to vote against. Imagine life on the other side. Roads better, schools better, everybody get their license back. Grocery store food better, custody of your kids back. Homeless people get new shelters. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters. Me and you. Somebody told us that the government wanna keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is cause we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president, I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. See, they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the polls.
Every time you stay home, someone
Yo,
is
that's
making a
when it's
decision
so
about
fire,
you,
boy.
making decisions
That's
about
when
the
it's so
air you
fire.
breathe.
Funky Friday, it's the Piece of the Morning Show. Hey, if you didn't get a chance to check this show out, make sure you rewind. Take it all the way back to the beginning because the music is hot. It's totally conscious. Push a positive media. Hashtag push positive media. The sister that brought Dr. Midwife T on our 4th-part series on health, dealing with cancer. The information was so powerful, how to prevent it, what foods to eat to rid your body of things that fester cancer, how to remove things from the body once you have cancer, the 3 things to do to change Oh man, it's all in there. So make sure you check out this show. Share this show, because when you share this show, you sharing love, you sharing life. This is Darius A. Stant with my brother DJ 5-Star. You see, he got me a 5-star joint. He got on his turmeric when I got my black seed oil shirt. Yo, we might have to get, you know how they our team names, right? Our team, your joint is turmeric, mine is black seed oil. Come on,
All right.
yeah. We're gonna do that. We're gonna make that pop like that. Yo, man. Hey, next weekend, where we at next weekend, 5?
Next weekend, what's that?
It's the Million Man March, baby. Long live the spirit of the Million Man March. So check us out next Saturday morning, 6 a.m., Druid Hill Park near the reservoir in Baltimore, Maryland. Right over there by Cloverdale. Yeah, that's where you want to be. So tell us, 5, you got something special happening on that day. In addition to the fact that we're honoring the anniversary of the Million Man March, we're going to have fellowship, we're going to have prayer, we're going to have respect to our ancestors, music, poetry. What else are we going to have, 5, that's going to be real special that's involving your family?
Well, back in the day when the I believe it's called the Green Book. That was called the Green Book. There
That's
was
right.
the location called the Sphinx Club, where Billie Holiday, Red Fox, everyone that performed at the Real Theater performed there. And my grandfather happened to own that venue. And so he didn't rent the venue. He didn't own the operations. He owned the building, owned the license, owned the name. And that was unprecedented for an African American in those times to have that much ownership. And Baltimore City, Drew Hill Heights Association, and the Black Arts District came to the Tillman family and said they wanted to highlight Mr. Charles P. Tillman. I know him as Pop Charlie, being the grandson. And on the 16th, in conjunction with the 26th anniversary of the Million Man March, long live the spirit of the Million Man March. Long live the spirit of the Million Man March. From 12 to about 4 o'clock, there will be jazz, a free event, food, and really just celebrating the legacy of my grandfather and the Sphinx Club, having a panel discussion. Larry Young will be.
And where's that happening, 5, the celebration in honoring your grandfather?
Right there at Cab Calloway Park. Cab Calloway Park on Division Street, 2223 Division Street, right there on the corner of Division and, I believe, Gold or Baker. Right there, a block down from the Sphinx Club where it was on Pennsylvania Avenue. So we'll be
Got it. Right there on Pennsylvania
right there outside.
Avenue.
It's COVID friendly outside, free food, chairs already there. So you're definitely welcome. Come in and just enjoy some good tunes and hear a good conversation about the days before I was born. I got the tail end of it in the 80s. However, the days I was born or before I was born, hearing those stories of all our greats that I stand on their shoulders, the wisdom, the experiences that we as my generation and below need to just understand and take and learn from so that we can use our energy to avoid any obstacles or challenges they had in the past. So I'm looking forward to connecting with a lot of our OGs, as we call them, in our culture, our original OGs, and I'm excited. So just to be able to go through that day. So I'll be at the prayer at the Drew Hill Park, and then going to breakfast at the garage, and then we're gonna shoot over to Cab Calloway Park. We're going back to the garage. Like, it's gonna be a whole day of a whole spiritual day, powerful day with my brothers and the brotherhood, and as well as the queens that support the brotherhood. So I'm excited, and we'll see you there.
That's it. That's right. You heard it from my brother. Next Saturday, October 16th, DJ 5-Star. Yes, sir. We got a whole host of Freedom Paper Company, IBA card. I mean, the list goes, City of God. You know, the list just goes on and on. Big time lawyers, you know, you name it. We're gonna have the folks in Westmore running for governor here in the state of Maryland. He's gonna be up in the building or outside in the park. So it's gonna be definitely a beautiful day. And we're bringing emerging leaders. So if you know any young leaders, you know, I say young, emerging, you know, just getting into leadership or young in leadership, have them come on out, because we want you to be able to be there. You can go to Eventbrite and look up the 26th Million Man March anniversary, and it'll pop up. Eventbrite, 26th Million Man March anniversary, and it will definitely pop up. So look, this is Darius A. Stanton with DJ 5 Star. Thank you again for Midwife
One more
TH.
announcement.
Go ahead with it, brother.
Buy Black Conference, the United States Black Chamber. Black Chamber has the Buy Black Conference. So if you're not on my email blast, shoot me a quick email, DJ, the number 5, STARR @gmail, just to get locked in my CRM system. I'm sending out an email blast today with a discount ticket for the Buy Black Conference next week. And that is with the chamber. So the United States Black Chamber, US, BC, Black Chamber, United States. They have a Buy Black Conference next week. And I'll be sending out a link in my email blast today within the next hour or two that has a discount link for $20 tickets. So take advantage of that opportunity. It expires this evening. So you want to act fast and look out for that email blast. If you're not receiving my email blast, please shoot me an email just really quickly. Either dj5star@gmail.com, or if you know my email, just shoot me an email and it will be coming from our Signpost CRM system. So with that, I just wanted to drop that announcement because I told them I would do that, representing the Greater Baltimore Black Chamber of Commerce, the Buy Black Conference. You can shoot me a quick email and you'll be in our email blast system, and then you'll receive the blast yourself. All right?
There you go. You heard it right here. Buy Black Conference with the Greater Baltimore Black Chamber of Commerce. So
Well,
make
we're a
sure you
partner.
join.
We're a partner. It's the U.S. Black Chamber, so it's the U.S. Black Chamber.
U.S. Black Chamber's doing it. Okay. No doubt. No doubt. Well, we're excited to be able to support people that support people. Hey, Five, thanks, man. Thanks for everybody that rolled with us because we went for a whole hour and 30 minutes. But, hey, that's what it's like on the Peace in the Morning Show, Funky Friday, because we bring education, we bring entertainment, and we bring you. This is Darius A. Stanton with 5 Star saying peace.